Last weekend, I sailed across the English Channel. This is what happened. So, I've done a bit of sailing before, but I haven't been on an overnight trip in years. And so last weekend, I found myself stepping aboard a 36-foot sailing yacht with 4 others, off to sail across the English Channel. The plan was to head out of Southampton on the Friday evening, down the Solent, around the Isle of Wight, and then a straight shot down to Cherbourg in the north of France, arriving midday Saturday. Then spend a few hours in France, noshing on croissants, straight back across the Channel, round the Needles, up the Solent, and home in time for Sunday tea. Whilst our skipper completed the passage plan, complete with a risk assessment for the possibility of meeting a Russian warship, the rest of us set about making the boat ready. On the trip, we ran a watch system where me and another crew member would take the helm, steer the boat and keep watch for other ships for 2 hours, while the rest of the crew slept. Then we'd swap over, go to sleep, and the others would take over. We sailed on through the night, crossing the shipping lanes, and made it to Cherbourg around midday Saturday. Cherbourg, it has an incredibly large seawall with forts that have apparently been standing since Napoleonic times. And as you get closer to the harbour, there's even an old decommissioned French nuclear submarine sitting in the port. Unfortunately, we only had a few hours, so we had a quick walk through the town, scoffed down a croque monsieur, and then grabbed a shower before we were due to leave again. The return crossing was more straightforward, since Cherbourg leads directly out into the Channel. Powered by tea and chocolate digestives, we sailed on through the morning. Waking up in the Solent, we found the water was suddenly full of sailboats and traffic. Steering round all the other boats, we eventually made it back to the dock, refueled the boat, and parked her back in her spot on the pontoon. Many thanks to our skipper Bob and the team at First Class Sailing who made this all possible. An awesome trip.